It seems that the human being really has a very simple kind of mind, even though human beings are themselves part of nature. There seems to be a complete difference of style between the things that human beings do and the things that nature does. To try and find out what is the essential difference between the world of nature and the world of man. You know, wherever human beings have been around and done their thing, you find rectangles. We live in boxes. Nature is wiggly. Everything wiggles. The shapes of the trees, the outlines of the hills, the way the wind brushes the grass. It seems that the human being really has a very simple kind of mind, and all this wiggliness is too complicated. I don't think it really is complicated, because after all, it's very simple. Say, to raise something or to open and close your hand, it's perfectly easy. Things become complicated only when we think about them. And that's because we're trying to translate them into a form of life which is very much simpler and cruder than the forms of life we're talking about. Human beings are just as wiggly as nature. And our brains are an incredible mess of wiggles. And that's the part of ourselves that we understand least of all. Because sometimes when I'm in the middle of all this, I feel as if I were in the middle of an amazing brain. In other words, the brain is a network of interconnected neurons. And each one of those neurons is a fairly simple affair. But what we call things, the plants, birds, trees, are far more complicated than a neuron. And they are all living together in a network. And so in the same way, everything in nature depends on everything else. So it's interconnected. And so the many, many patterns of interconnections lock it all together into a unity, which is, however, much too complicated for us to think about. But I am part of all this. I am, as it were, one of the cells in this tremendous brain. Because the part cannot comprehend the whole. And you know, we say to people, keep still so that I can see you. Keep still for the camera. Well, let's get things straightened out. Let's get this ironed out. Let's get it all squared away. And then somehow we think we understand things when we have translated them into terms of straight lines and squares. But it doesn't fit nature. There seems to be a complete difference of style between the things that human beings do and the things that nature does, even though human beings are themselves part of nature. The clouds, tracks of streams, it all wiggles. And for some reason or other, we find wiggly things very difficult to keep track of. Its aesthetic forms somehow appeal to me more than most of the aesthetic forms which men produce. And yet at the same time, I don't feel that I'm a foreigner or a stranger in this world.